quick, shout out to the Corlione family. Shout out to Kazachi Journeys LLC, NEW. Shout out to Goat Life LLC. Shout out to Redfin. I'm sorry, shout out to Realtor.com. Shout out to Realtor.com. Shout out to the Maricopa County's Assessor's Office. Anytime you want to know certain information about properties, Maricopa County Assessor, if you live in Maricopa County, if it's Pinal, if it's Cochise. Shout out to them. Shout out to the Corleone family. Shout out to the Hitmakers. 19 Promotions. Shout out to them. Tim Zoo, Errol Spence. You wanted a prediction. We don't do predictions, we do recaps, but I will give you a hot take. Thank you for reaching out. There are some things we got to speak about. Shout out to Cortez Bodega Murder FK. Shout out to them. Here's my hot take. No prediction. Here's hot take. I think by 8 it'll be clear. I think by 7 it'll be clear who's going to win the bout. And I don't think that whoever's up after 7 is going to let their foot off the gas. You got to remember something very, very important about this matchup. Tim Zoo he lost to Fundora, but I thought he beat him. I thought it was the cut that made the difference, and the judges scored the blood. I thought Fundora did do good in that bout, but I thought Tim Zoo won. Remember the last time we saw Errol Spence, he had lost to Terrence Crawford, but before that bout, he was 1B. If Terrence Crawford was 1A, Errol Spence was probably 1B. We just didn't know that Terrence Crawford was that far ahead of the pack. But going into that bout, had that bout really 50-50. Really 50-50 at the time. I was like, they both dogs. So really 50-50. But so there's my hot take. Tim Zoo. And Tim Zoo won his last bout, so he looked good at doing it. Now, granted, the dude he boxed, nobody heard of him, but you can't fight death row all your entire career. The days of Oscar De La Hoya type work schedules for boxers is gone. Those days are over. So, no shot to Tim Zoo, but I think it'll be interesting. After 7, we'll know clearly. You'll know who's gonna finish that thing off, and I don't think whoever's up after 7 is gonna let their foot off the gas. That was that question. Now this question: Zuffa signing a couple, throwing some big money at a couple of big name fighters in order to push their brand. This is how private companies work. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is how private companies work. You gotta have people want to see in order to make money in the game, right? Look at a lot of the business model anyway. Look at a lot of UFC success. It's a lot of people they grab from other organizations. They didn't have like homegrown dudes. You know what I'm saying? It was like dudes from Pride and dudes from Glory and dudes from K1 and like that kind of stuff. So they have to spend money on guys in order to push the company, right? So I wouldn't necessarily go far enough to say it's Benedict Arnold-ish that these guys sign. They just have a boss now. That's like being mad at somebody for taking a job, for going on a job interview and getting a job. Zuffa's a private company. It ain't Wild Wild West like how boxing typically is. They're not their own boss. Right now, Zuffa is. And if they cool with that paycheck, okay. Don't get. You'd have to go get mad at everybody that work everywhere. In that case, you see what I'm saying? Because that's how that works. Super hot takes on both questions. Thank you for reaching out. There's some things you got to speak about. No edit.